grow the conversation into bigger, more important topics, one day at a time.
Oh yeah, and I want to clarify, oddly enough, that it's gene, Gene, like your DNA gene, not the genes that a mom wears on her body.
Exactly.
So, just because I'm sure they'll see, if you pull up podcast, it's got a description, but I just wanted to say that out loud. So
that's a good point. I never thought about that on the podcast. How
I just thought about it. Here, I was like, I better spell that real quick. But yes, absolutely. And I'm sure that those were some of the goals in writing your book too, to make sure you had a good, easy conversation and things like that.
Exactly. My goal with Mom's Genes was exactly that, is to keep it simple, to help parents start a conversation with their kids. It's intended for small kids, not older. My kids were about 7 when we got the book out, and I've read it to kindergarten classes, first and second grade, with great success in starting that conversation there. My intention is just to keep it light, to start a conversation and to get kids thinking about their family tree and how that family tree can have an impact on their health. My kids are young and they love hearing stories about their grandparents and their great grandparents. They're so open to it. So this book has opened so many doors to that conversation, but in a light and age appropriate way.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. And it really is a great non-fear based way of approaching it. Like here's this simple book and beautiful drawings and bright colors, and just, it caught my eye immediately when you were speaking at the conference. And, I think it's so important that kids can start having knowledge without the associated fear, because a lot of times if you can have the knowledge, you can keep the fear at bay, and I think that just, it seems like lately I've concentrated a lot on fear in my own personal life and having to overcome a lot of things. And so that's kind of filtering down into my professional life, but I can really see how this helps with that. And, that, I don't know if that was part of your goal when you wrote it, but that I'm sure that is definitely part of what happens now. And, I would suggest that every hospital around the nation, get this book and have it in their waiting room for children and, things like that. And speaking of that, where can people find your book?
My book is available on Amazon. So if you just head over to Amazon, you can type in Mom's Genes, and as you noted, it's Genes, Genes, because that's the joke of the title. She's holding a pair of jeans from her mom that were passed down. But it is on Amazon, and you can also check out my website, which is proactivegenes.com, and it's on there as well. So those are two great ways to check out the book and get more information about it.
Oh yeah, it's great. I did all that, and I would encourage the listeners to do that, especially if you're, you've just found out, maybe you're carrying the gene, or maybe you've been diagnosed, or, something like that. I think even if you've been recently diagnosed, it'd be a good book, because you are going to go through the process of finding out whether you're BRCA positive or not. So, and I do remember when I was doing that, even though I was negative, I still remember going through the whole thing, and both boys being actually in 7th grade and 9th grade being, they reacted to that, like more so than I thought they would. So I think, you're onto something with kids, and I think it's fantastic. Again, and you started a blog called Proactive Genes. Tell us about that.
Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm so excited about Proactive Genes. It's really where the Mom's Genes story continues, and hopefully it ignites a conversation with other parents out there. So Mom's Genes always, to me, had two audiences. You have the kids who are sitting there listening to the story, but then you also have the parents who might read it and think, I should ask Grandma what was going on with Uncle, Sam back in the day. So I do think it has that impact. I have heard from other parents that they do kind of start to think about those bigger questions as they go through the book, even though it is such a simple, short poem of a story. it does have that lasting, thought. So Proactive Genes was from Mom's Genes, where I just started that conversation. I kept hearing those stories from other parents out there, and we just try to share each other's stories and the challenges and the triumphs that we have of being parents that are at high risk for cancer, and what it means for the day to day, how we have these conversations with our kids, or if we're going in for a preventative surgery or maybe not a preventative surgery. How did we approach these conversations? What did we do? How did our kids react? And it's really becoming a community where we can lean on each other for that kind of support. And I welcome anybody who has a short story like that to share on the blog. We're always looking for different voices. So it's just meant to be a place where parents can go and have different perspectives on this kind of, conversation.
Oh, and then how can you get onto your blog?
So if you go to proactivegenes.com, you can head over on the top of the page. There's a link out to the blog, and you'll see so many different wonderful stories there. I think you could kind of get lost in it for hours.
Oh, goodness. Great. I'm doing it today. So real quick, we're almost out of time, but I just wanted to clarify, and I didn't read your long bio. That will go out on the social media, but did you have any proactive surgeries?
I had a couple. I don't talk too much about them in detail yet. It's just kind of where I'm at in my process of growing and healing. But there's certainly a constant need to be in and out with my doctors talking about our plans and making sure that I'm being as proactive as I possibly can to make sure that I'm here as long as possible for my kids.
That's great. And is this something that sometimes you address in your blog, that people that are going through the same thing you are might be able to see how
Absolutely. So you'll see so many different women and men have shared stories about going through those surgeries or going through things like fertility preservation or genetic embryo selection and different topics that come up in this community that are so big and overwhelming that it's helpful to have other perspectives that you can kind of look to and understand that you're not maybe the only one, because it can feel pretty big and alone at times.
Yes, absolutely. And that's kind of one thing that my company is starting to do is create like that Mama Bear community where you feel like you have somewhere to go if you're feeling alone, because probably somebody in there has been through what you've been through, or some version of it. And it sure makes it easier. I mean, everything in life, we put together people that are alike so they can do it easier. So, I think this is fantastic. And I want to thank you for being on the show today. And you, like Shannon said, you can find her website at www.proactivegenes.com. That's proactivegenes.com. She's also on Twitter at Proactive Genes, Facebook Proactive Genes, emails proactivegenes@gmail.com. And you can buy her book on Amazon, Proactive Genes, and you can join her blog on her website. So have a skip and hop over there and go check it out. If you have a child that you need to talk to your family history about, this is a fantastic book. Certainly recommend it. And that will be available on social media. When this show comes out, we'll have all those links available. And I want to thank you for joining us today on the Mama Bear Cancer Support Radio podcast on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind, body, soul. For more information about Mama Bear or to hear all of the podcasts, please find them on my website at www.mamabearcancercoach.com. I'm your host, Mama Bear Donita.
Until next time, thank you for joining Mama Bear Donita.